Welcome everyone, welcome in today's market outlook. Today's Sunday. I'm going to make a outlook for next week. What am I expecting? What I hope to see on four pairs, the same as the previous time with the DXY and AUD. So let's dive right into the markets. Starting with the DXY, guys, what can we see? Well, we see that we are bearish, right? We had that break of structure right here. This was our previous swing low and that broke right here. So this is now our new swing low, and this is our swing high. Why is this our swing high? Well, because this is the highest point between the previous low and the break of it. So now we have drawn our Fibonacci retracement tool, with this blue line being our 50% of this whole move, and here being the premium prices, and underneath the discount prices. And what do we want to see if the market's bearish? Well, we want to see a retracement in towards the premium prices to then sell off again and to get that new swing low to break. Okay, guys? So we want this retracement back towards this premium prices, right? There is also a supply zone where price could potentially get a reaction from, grab some liquidity at the downsides, and then make the real move towards the premium prices. Okay, guys, this is what I see on the daily time frame. What else do I see on the daily time frame? Well, we see that there is kind of a bullish order flow going on that is pushing price up higher. Okay, guys, we see this sell before the buy pushes price up higher. Again sell before the buy pushes price up higher. Okay, guys, you understand, I hope, and if not, well, leave a comment behind and I will make a video about it. Then going over to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? Well, we see that we are also bearish on the 4-hour. We have made that retracement back towards the premium prices. You guys can see that price stepped above the blue line, so we could say that we're actually ready to drop down lower. But as the higher time frame always is king, we expected more upside on the daily, so I'm still expecting more upside also on the 4-hour. We see also this 4-hour bullish order flow here, and we see that this weekly open together with this demand zone is pushing price up higher, and I'm just expecting more upside towards this liquidity, towards this supply zone, and even towards the premium prices on the daily time frame. Now, if we expect upside on the DXY, so on USD, we expect downside on pairs like Euro USD or GBP USD. So what do we see on Euro USD? Well, we see that on the daily time frame, we are bullish. Okay, guys, with this being our swing high and this being our swing low. If we draw a Fibonacci tool, we see that we didn't tap yet back in towards the discount prices to push up higher than again. Okay, we also see that there is bearish order flow going on, with also fractal breaks to the downside. We can see that here is our last fractal break, meaning that we created new supply zone. Price stepped back in towards this supply zone and is now hopefully ready to drop down lower. Where to? Well, towards these liquidity lows, maybe towards this demand zone, but it's really low on the charts. So I'm just expecting to grab some liquidity, and then maybe from even this demand zone to push up higher. So what could happen? Well, we could see a liquidity grab here. This is liquidity. We grab liquidity, we come again out of the zone, we make a good high, we have a fractal break, and boom, we go up higher. Okay, guys, that would be the perfect scenario. So that's what I'm expecting on this pair. Going over to the 4-hour time frame on this pair, what do we see? Well, we see we're bearish, right, guys? So if we take our Fibonacci tool, what do we see? We see that we still need to make that pullback towards these premium prices. But as we have seen on the daily time frame, we saw that there was bearish order flow going on, and that was pushing price down lower. So what am I expecting? Well, I'm just expecting more downside actually from this supply zone. You see we tapped perfectly in, so I'm just expecting more downside. And if not, well, we could see another swipe from this low, and then I will short. And if price just reverses, so my expectations are we swipe this high, then trade down lower, or just trade down lower from here, or if market reverses, we break the order flow, and then I will look for longs. Okay, guys, to take all this liquidity out. But that's I'm still waiting for further development. If we go over to GBP USD, on the daily time frame, what do we see? Well, we see that we are daily bullish. We just grabbed the previous swing high, and now this is our new swing high, with this being our swing low. Okay, guys. What do we see? We see that we didn't tap in back because we just took the high. So we need still to make that retracement towards these discount prices. Okay, so I'm still expecting downside. What do we see? Also bearish order flow with 2 fractal breaks to the downside. Price is just pushing down lower from these supply zones. So going over to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? Well, on the 4-hour time frame, we see that we are bullish. Okay, guys, with this being our swing low, so we need to make that retracement. So I'm just expecting more downside. We can see that price actually came back towards this supply zone. Yeah, what could happen? Well, price could just move up higher, grab all of this liquidity, but meaning that it breaks the order flow, okay, because there is kind of order flow here. Let me draw it for you guys. Here, market taps in, push down lower, then push down lower, break the lows. So if it breaks this high, it means that we break the order flow, and then will I look for longs or yeah. But if we grab all of this liquidity and then see enough confirmation, we could also trade down lower from this point. Okay, guys. What also can happen is that we just trade down lower from this supply zone that is now in control, and we can just trade down lower towards all these liquidity points right here, guys. Okay, so that's my expectations on GBP USD. Now going over to AUD pair. AUD USD is the same as the AUD. So what do we see? Well, on the daily time frame, we see we are bearish, right? We came back towards these premium prices. We grabbed a bit of liquidity, so we could see a reaction. That's what happened. We saw a little reaction, but I'm still hoping and expecting that we grab all of this liquidity. Okay, so I'm just expecting this demand zone to hold and to push price up higher towards this supply zone, and from this supply zone I will look for an entry and short. Okay, guys, so going over to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see on the 4-hour time frame? Well, we see that this bullish order flow is also going on the 4-hour. We see that we are now in this supply zone, and price is just pushing up higher. We are fractal bearish. This is now our current fractal high. If this breaks, price would just move up higher, I think. What also could happen, of course, is that we just trade down lower, grab all of this liquidity, and because we came in towards these premium prices, we grabbed liquidity, but there is still supply open and a lot of liquidity, so I will not look for shorts yet. I still want to see this pullback in towards the supply zone. Going over to Euro AUD, if we expect upside on AUD, we expect downside on Euro AUD. So on the daily time frame, we see we're bullish. Okay, break here from this previous high. Now this is our current swing high, this is our current swing low. Okay, we are making that pullback towards this discount prices with a liquidity right here, demand zone right here. So I'm still expecting just to trade down lower from these supply zones right here. Okay, guys, here we see that price didn't retrace back in towards this supply zone, but what could also happen is that price retraced back from this imbalance candle. I just made a short of this, guys. If you don't understand what I mean by imbalance candle and why is this acting as a supply or demand zone, well, I just made a short of it. Make sure to watch it and you will understand this. So we could just push down lower with this bearish order flow. So what do we see on the 4-hour time frame? Well, we see we're bullish, right? We came in towards this discount prices, so we could say that we're ready to trade down lower, but that's not in line with the daily time frame, and as the higher time frame is always king, I am just expecting more downside, and I'm not looking for longs at the moment, even though there is a lot of liquidity in a trend line form above price. There is also a bearish order flow going on here. Okay, guys, let me draw it. Here we tapped in, we made a good high. Let me zoom in, guys. We made a good high right here, and now I'm just expecting price to push it down lower. Going over to GBP AUD, we see daily is bullish. We retraced back in towards the discount prices, so we could maybe expect upside, but as the AUD is not in line, at my opinion, we can just trade down lower, okay? Because with this bearish order flow, also price retrace back, maybe tap in towards this monthly open, and then we can push down lower with a lot of liquidity underneath, and with this beautiful open supply demand zone. Going over to the 4-hour time frame, we see that we're 4-hour bearish, okay, with this being our swing low and this being our swing high. Voila, we didn't retrace back in towards the premium prices, so we could see some upside, but as it's not in line, as my opinion, with a higher time frame and with AUD, I'm just skipping this one. So I'm just expecting price to form a good high, swipe these equal highs, okay, because these are equal highs, meaning there are a lot of stop losses above. So I'm just expecting to swipe them and then push down lower again. If we then draw our Fibonacci tool from the high towards this low, we can see that we tapped in towards these premium prices, so we then could just trade down lower again, okay guys? So I'm not expecting to see a overall retracement from this low towards this high to the 50%, because it's really high and it's not in line with the other pairs or the higher time frame. I'm just expecting from this high towards this low, we are already in towards this 50%, but I am still expecting more upside towards these equal highs, swipe these equal highs, and from these equal highs I will look for shorts towards all these liquidity points and towards this swing low. So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, where can I improve, for example, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.